In this video, I'm going to show you how you guys can set up the new CRM as a browser on the desktop of your iPad. So there are two ways to access CRM. The one is through the browser version, which is Safari, just via the internet, which you don't necessarily need an iPad for. You can access it through the browser on any computer. And also this Dynamics 365 application that is already on your iPad. So what I'll do is I'm going to sign into Safari and use that website that I emailed out. It's https://flagler.flaglerce.com. So I'm going to log in here as a sales rep. And once I log in, I'm going to show everyone how you can then save it as a favorite on your desktop, so you don't have to necessarily go to the browser each time. So as you can see at the top of the screen, flagler.flaglerce.com. It'll load up. And here I am in the new CRM. You'll know this by the red background. So it defaults to the account coverage dashboard. So first order of business, I'm going to show everyone how to save this favorite so it's on your desktop. So if you look right next to the browser, top right, there's this little box with an arrow pointing up. If I click on that, you have choices: add to favorites, add bookmark. If you see the plus sign, it says add to home screen, and I click add to home screen, you can now name it. And so I'm going to delete this across. And I'm going to type in CRM browser, maybe. You can name it whatever you'd like. So CRM browser, add. And so now it closed out, but you can see I have a new little icon that says CRM browser. So this is different than Dynamics 365. So if I wanted to get back to the internet, I type on that little icon, and now I'm already in. One thing that I've noticed is when I sign in on the browser version, you see I'm trying to scroll up and it's not letting me do it. I've noticed this over the last couple months of testing, and it becomes very frustrating. It's only when you first sign in. So if I select a different dashboard, let's say sales dashboard, and then I go back and I select that account coverage dashboard, for some reason it kind of resets, and then you're able to scroll within the page. So you can kind of see, now I can get wherever I want to go on that page. It's something that I've brought up that over time I'm sure we'll get the bug worked out, but that's the quick workaround. So you can still, so you just have to select a different dashboard and then come back. And so this is the account coverage dashboard, which tells you once again where you stand with all of your sales calls against all of the A's, the B's, the C's, and the D customers. So that's the account coverage dashboard look. What I wanted to focus on first for the point of this video was opportunity management. So opportunities are our sales forecast, all the deals that we're currently working. So to create or edit an opportunity, you can do so from the top menu. I go to opportunities. So right now, everything defaults to my open. I have 2 opportunities in there. So if I wanted to create a new opportunity, I can simply click new. First area, it would be a topic, whatever you want to name this. I'll name it rental L90 with a possible close date of July. I'll touch the next field, potential customer. I'll type in FRED. If I hit enter, it should show me the choices for that customer, or there we go. And I'll pick that customer. Branch. I'll pick Tampa. Forecast information. Revenue, it says user provided, so just type in an amount. I'll put 150,000. Estimated close date is a calendar. And I had said July, so let me get to July. There's July. I'll pick the 31st, the end of the month. It's hard to do this left-handed. Okay, last piece would be probability. And so probability is there's 4 choices. It's not a manual entry anymore, which should make things a lot easier. So in this particular case, I'll pick 50%, and then I will save and close. That is all that is necessary to create an opportunity. And so once again, I can't say it enough, opportunities and quotes in the new CRM are independent of each other. There's no tie from that opportunity to a quote. So now I have 3 opportunities. You can see each have a revenue amount and each have a probability. So you can always look at what your forecast is. So if I come over to the right side, there's an area that says charts. And so if I click on that little arrow at the top to have the charts come out onto the screen, there we go. The default is opportunity by customer. And so if I click on this little down arrow, I can now select a different chart. So what I want to look at always is weighted revenue by month. And so if I select weighted revenue by month, this is my sales forecast. So you can see right here, I have May, June, and July. So the first thing that I will need to do is look at May. And if I simply touch on the bar, it will show me in the main screen which deal is forecasted in May. It's this Kimmons L110. And so my first order of business here is to change the date. We want to have everything accurately forecasted and updated. So if I click on the topic, you don't want to click on the customer because then it just takes you to the customer record. So I want to click on the topic, L110H lease. Okay. All I have to do is simply scroll down to estimated close date, and I'm going to move it. It's been delayed a month. I'm going to move it to June. The amount for the sale is $225,000. The probability is 75%, which means the weighted amount for my forecast is $168,750. That is 75% of 225. So if you'll notice, there is no save button here. So all I should have to do is just back out of this. If I click on the date, move it from May to June, I push it out into the current month. I close that little window at the bottom. You can see in the bottom right it says unsaved changes. So all you have to do is simply click on that. It'll automatically save after a period of time, let's say 15-20 seconds, but there's no need to wait. If I just click on that, touch that little disc, it's now saved. I've now moved my deal from May to June. So my weighted revenue chart should be updated. So now if you look, if I refresh my open opportunities, it just has June and July here. Now that is how you can add an opportunity and how you can edit an existing opportunity. When you win one, let's say I have won the opportunity that I input. This system at the top, close as won, close as lost. It's important to note here that if you close an opportunity as lost, it does not take you to a lost sale report. That is, lost sale reports you can get to through a lost quote. But it is important to close your opportunities if they are lost. You got to remove them from your forecast. But in this case, if I win this sale and this opportunity, if you notice, I have a close date of July, which I put in for the opportunity. Whenever you don't have to, it's not as important the amount and the close date necessarily for the sale, because you always have an opportunity to either edit, or you can, when you, as I'll show you, when you close it as won, it gives you one last opportunity to revise the amount for the sale or the date. Like for example, I'm going to close this one as won, even though it was $150,000 and it was July close date. It asks you, is this correct for the revenue? And it prompts you for a close date of actually the day that you're doing this. So if I wanted to, I could actually say that I closed this opportunity in May if I wanted to. Or I could just close it for today, even though the opportunity said July. And then let's say if I quoted it at 150,000, but the customer and I settled on 140, I change it to 140 and click OK. And now it has closed my opportunity with a revenue number of 140. So that is how you can manage, add, edit opportunities, mark them warm.